Welcome, everybody, to the Gate Expectations podcast, where I bring in a weekly guest and talk all things Yu-Gi-Oh! And get to know a little bit more about each person I talk to. This is the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast that is run by a full-fledged journalist such as myself. This is episode 6. If you haven't checked it out yet, you can check out earlier podcasts featuring Stephen Trifanowski, Jesse Cotton, Jeffrey Lang, Sam Arunavasiri, and Gabriel Vargas. My guest for this week is a renowned Yu-Gi-Oh! Tuber with over 23,500 subscribers and over 11 million views. He's topped a YCS, and he's the man known as the HBIC, the head bitch in charge. It's Cordero, Spencer. Cordero, man, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, you're making me blush.
Too bad I can't see it right now.
No, you can't, but I am blushing.
I couldn't imagine you're not on the show at least one point in time.
Well, I'm happy you had me on.
Of course, absolutely. And Cordero, you and I have we've gone back a ways, and we're dear friends.
Yes,
you're a
we
dear
are.
friend of mine, absolutely. And we start to see you kind of transition a kind of away from Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, and you're more into Pokemon as of late, as we're seeing on your YouTube channel. You changed your name from Vexacus4666, and now it's Vexdex.
Yes, it's still Vexacus when you type it in, because you can't really change it, but you get the idea.
Yeah, and I've seen the last 4 or 5 videos now on your YouTube channel have been more about Pokemon than anything else. And you've been into Pokemon for a long time as well, and that's one of your things that you've been very active with as well. Just didn't broadcast it as much as you did on your YouTube channel.
Because there are Pokemon videos on there, but there's not a lot of them on there.
Yeah, and we're seeing the last few have started to come more into Pokemon, which is, I love playing Pokemon too. I play a bit of it myself just for fun. I play competitively on a casual basis, if that makes sense to you. But that's the way I do it. And I know we had one little fun battle just for fun, just to test myself out and just kind of get myself warmed up.
Yeah, do you want to tell them how you did with that?
I did win in a sense, but I kind of caught you off guard because you had Pokemon set for Pokemon VGC, and I was set more for Smogon rules, and really it was just a test it was a warm up. So I don't really call it official win. Yeah. It wasn't official or anything like that, or I didn't want to say, "Oh yeah, I beat Vexy in a Pokemon battle." No, I was catching.
We can always battle again. Yeah, we can always battle
of course. Again. But it was just me, just trying to see how my Pokemon were standing up on a competitive standpoint. That's all it was. It was just kind of a test. It was like scrimmage. It wasn't for glory or anything like that. I didn't care.
Pretty good though.
I know how to play a bit. It's just I'm just unfamiliar with the meta. That's all. Right. I just have lack of experience. That's the only thing with me. So let's start with that then. Why did you started straying away from Yu-Gi-Oh! And go a little bit more into Pokemon now?
You want the truth?
Yeah, please.
The game costs too much money. I do not have time to get these. I think they're called Star Parallels or Star Foils. I don't know what they're called now.
The Starlight Rares?
Starlight Rares. I knew it was something Starlight. I don't have time to be doing that, and then you got to get these. I think it's called Lightning Storm, the Harpy's Feather Duster Heavy Storm card. You need 3 of those. You need 3 of this card. I don't got time for that.
No.
And the game do not seem fun. I understand links, and then they changed the mechanic now. I think it's Master Rule 5. So I kind of like it, but then they hurt my pendulums, and I like pendulums because I top with pendulums. And they hurt that deck too much.
Yeah, you talked with YCS Origins with Demise Magus Specters, if I recall.
Yes, that was fun. I built that deck 5 minutes before the tournament started.
What was the story behind that?
I the only deck I had at the time was I had Drago Pals and I had Magic Specters, and I was with my friend Ian. I hope he watches this. I fucking love him. I love him so much. He knows I love him, but he helped me build this deck in 5 minutes. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to make this deck. And we're going to add all these cards in here. We're going to play Upstart Goblin and stuff like that. Card of Demise, Pot of Duality with a 42 card deck. And only with 12 monsters. And Magic Specter's best matchup is Burning Abyss. And that's literally all I played. And then I lost in top 32. I'm still mad about that because I made a play error. I'm not used to being in the top. And I'm also mad because my feature match was supposed to be featured It was supposed to have a feature match feature like on the teleprompter. The guy refused it, and I'm like, I go up to Konami, he can't do that because when you sign that little slip, you have to be on there. So I'm kind of mad with that. I got shot.
Yeah, I'd be mad too. I actually had the same situation when I was at YCS Toronto. I actually had my opponent refuse to be on a feature match, but it was a written feature match. It wasn't a stream or anything. So
yeah.
I don't know what the rules are about that, but apparently, at least from my experience, like they can refuse it. I'm pretty sure that was the case.
They can refuse it, but they don't supposed to refuse because you sign that thing saying that you are okay with being on stream and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I actually don't recall where that's written. So
I don't know. Being a judge, I don't think that's written anywhere that I know of.
Yeah. I just have no idea if you really can refuse or not at this point in time after what you're telling me. So I thought you just always had the right to refuse if you didn't want to, but now you're telling me otherwise. So I'm gonna have to research that later on. Nonetheless, though, you did get a written feature match at least during that event, though.
Yeah, I did get. I think I got one round 4 against. I forgot the player's name, but it was Drago Pals.
Tobias Error.
Yes.
Yeah.
That match. I don't want to talk bad about him, but that match was like fairly dreadful because he made it go into time and he took a long time with plays, asking what my cards did. I don't like when players do that. And you know what they do, especially if I activated them at least past game 3. I think you should know what they do by now.
Yeah, it was a stall tactic, in other words.
Yeah. And being a judge, I know when players want to stall, and it's like I don't like it.
And I think you got into a draw at the end of that game, didn't you not?
Yes. I think I went, if I recall, I went X2-1 and got in at 31 place or 30th. I can't remember.
Oh, so you barely squeaked in. But then you also won your top 32 match as well.
No, I lost the top 32 match.
Oh, you lost your top 32 match. Okay.
That's the one I should have won because I should have attacked first, then played Demise. It's like literally I top decked Demise. I'm like, oh my God, I drew this card and I forgot that, you don't do damage with that.
Right.
That was my play.
Right. Oh, jeez.
It happens.
It's the little things. But that was, I think that was your first and only top, right?
That was my first and only top.
Yeah, you're in the same boat as me. I have only got one YCS top under my
I was not expecting to top that event. I was planning just to go hang out with my friends from Michigan and literally buy stuff at Origins.
Yeah. And
I didn't end up buying anything because I made top 32.
Yeah. Hey, man, at least you can add that to your list of credentials.
What credentials? The only thing I got is that other than being a YouTuber.
How did that all start anyway, being a YouTuber?
I want to say, I was talking to my friend Pete Ashley about this last night because I told him I was going to be on your podcast. Yeah. And we were reminiscing. I'm like, because he's like, he's like, I consider myself second generation YouTuber, but he told me I'm really like a first generation YouTuber with Robbie Cole, MCO40. Pause Joker, first Hokage 6. I started around the time they did, but got me started with that is, do you remember Yu-Gi-Oh! Girl 2009, aka Bertha?
Yeah, so yeah. Yep.
Like her, because she lives like in my area. Always seen her recording. I'm like, ooh, this looks fun. And then I went to regionals, I met MCO40. I'm like, ooh, this looks fun too. I'm like, I can do this. And then that's when it started. Now, if you want to ask me where the name came from, that's a whole nother story.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. By all means.
Like when I got Vexacus, if anybody types the word Vexacus in and people know, I was still that you have me on personal Facebook and stuff. I love Power Rangers. I still love Power Rangers to this day.
Yep.
And at that time, Power Rangers Ninja Storm was on, and I loved the villain on that show. And I put Vexacus in there. I'm like, ooh, this could be fun. I put Vexacus in there, and I'm like, okay, I need some numbers with this. So I put 4 because 4 is my favorite number, and then 666 Devil. So I put that all together, and that's where Vexacus 4666 came from. Now, all the nicknames and stuff, that just came with it later. Because I have a lot of nicknames.
Yes, and one of them, for example, is Astromina that I see you when you go play
Pokemon. My new one.
That's your newest one. Yeah, because I believe that's that was formerly one of the Power Ranger villains, and now I think that actress turned into one of the pink Power Rangers, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I liked her when she was evil. That's what I'm going with that.
And apparently now that's just seems to be your theme now, just adding on Power Ranger names.
Pretty much, because I can go with a whole bunch of names, but then again, I have other nicknames. Like people call me Smexy Vexy or just Vexy. Black Rose, my old Pokemon persona names like for Spectra Phoenix. I go with a lot of my persona changes when I do stuff.
Yeah. Well, the head bitch in charge, HBIC, is one of your more popular ones.
That's the main one, yeah.
Yeah. How did that one come about?
My friend was telling me that I think it's about local, and everybody knows like I'm really bitchy. If you truly know me, you know that I'm the sweetest person in the whole wide world, but I can be the biggest, that you've seen. So I'm like, let me put this together because I used to watch a show, what was it called? I Love New York. And she calls herself that, the HBIC. I'm like, I'm going to put a spin on it and say, I'm going to call myself the HBIC of entertainment.
Okay. Ooh. It also kind of adds like a level of sassiness for you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you definitely have a little bit of that. I think that's a bit of an understatement.
Oh, yes.
But I mean, that's part of your charm, though.
Yeah, but like a lot of people, like I think it's really funny when they like see me do videos, they think I'm like this mean person. When then they meet me in person, they see like I'm the sweetest person they ever meet because I give hugs when I meet people. I talk to you. I probably don't even know the person. I can act like I can like literally known you for years when I talk to people.
Mm-hmm. And I've given you like gigantic hugs every time.
Oh yeah, you better
because, of course. I mean, we don't get to see each other that often because we're in two separate cities, like over 10 hours away from each other. Chicago's a 10-hour drive from where I am, and I love visiting.
And I've
Chicago.
never been to Toronto because I never got my passport. I was planning on getting my passport, but then this whole pandemic happened.
Yep, which is unfortunate. I mean, it's mostly like Niagara Falls is usually the YCS that we would have roughly around this time now, or even in late October, and that's probably not going to happen. So there goes that opportunity.
Yeah, don't remind me. And then right now I think they have like a free Gen Con, like doing a giveaway like tournament thing right now, remote duels. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it either. I did check it out very briefly, but I know at least they're giving out free badges now since they can't really do it anymore in Indianapolis. I went there once.
I went there, I think 2 or 3 times. I judged a couple.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. And then I played in like I think only one.
It's a huge con. I've been there only
really
once. But holy, it's huge there. And I don't know if you have any kind of fun stories or whatnot.
I don't know about fun stories. It's like I really wish I would have went raving and stuff back then. Nah, I regret it now because I like to party now. I'm a partier. A lot of things have changed for me.
I mean, there usually seems to be some kind of rave or like dance rave or something like that at cons that it lasts like over several days.
Yeah,
like Gen Con is one. We have one at in Toronto, and one of our biggest anime conventions we call Anime North. They always have a nightly rave, which is huge, and you always have to be careful because you got to watch out you don't hit the minors or anything like that.
Yeah.
So now that you're more into Pokemon, like what are you doing nowadays with the game?
Like with Pokemon, okay. Since I changed my name, which a very special friend of mine, like my best friend Donnie, helped me come up with that name, Vexacus. He's very special to me. But anyway, he got me to change my name, and he's been pushing me and motivating me to get back into Yu-Gi tubing. Well, YouTube in general, because he misses me doing it. But he's like, you got to do something what you love, because he knows I don't love Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, but he knows I like Pokemon. So he's been pushing me with that, because he's actually in a guest video with that, like challenging me, like he's Team Rocket. It's really, really cool. But he got me into that, and like what I'm really actually doing now is, like, even though I haven't posted anything in a while because I'm waiting for the format to change again, I just do VGCs, double formats, and just testing out teams. This is really fun. Even though I really wish they would put like a best 2 out of 3 in ranked, which I hope they do that in the next DLC download. They really need to do that. But playing singles, it's not fun. But even though I made Master Ball ranked in 5 hours.
that quick, huh?
It don't take that long.
That's fair. I do love playing the Battle Tower a lot when I'm playing Pokemon, because it's fun just kind of just exploring like top tier Pokemon just on a bunch of computers,
right?
And they get a little practice on. But I never really took part in the competitive scene. What about you? Have you been on the competitive scene?
I went to one. Donnie took me to St. Louis in March, right before the pandemic. And we went with our group of friends, and Donnie did the best out of all of us. I literally did bad.
How bad?
I think I went 3-3.
Oh.
And Donnie, I think he went up to like round 8 or 9, and I think he went X4. I think.
Oh, so not a great finish. Oof. It's a record I definitely don't like having if I was in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll tell you that much. Jeez. But have you done any other like big events or anything like that?
No, I was gonna play in some now everything's online now. Some online tournaments and see how I do with that. Because I literally have like every Pokemon, I have every hidden ability. I don't have nothing to worry about. I just can't wait for the next DLC.
Yeah, which I think we're getting in sometime in the fall, like late fall.
I think it's like mid-October or early November.
Let's hope the DLC on that one's going to be a lot bigger than what we got for the first DLC that we got for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're gonna have to have the battle again for sure.
Oh yeah, we can do that, and I can record it with my capture card.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we'll make it happen. You heard it here first. Vexy versus Gate Guardian 44 in a Pokemon battle.
This time it's gonna be VGC.
Yeah, we'll play VGC for sure. Yeah, we'll do the Dynamax and Gigantamax. Yeah, I'll get mine ready.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of which, we've had a Pokemon battle before. We've never actually dueled each other before, which is I find a little bit weird too.
Yeah, we never have played.
Yeah, I have so many friends that I've been with for so many years, but I've never actually played them before. You're one of them, so it's kind of funny how things kind of work, But we have a friendship that kind of extended past Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. Like we can just talk about our normal lives, and then we also talk about Pokemon as well. It's just amazing how like our friendship's kind of evolved into what it is now. And yeah, we still talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Like here and there, but it seems we're talking more not about Yu-Gi-Oh! Than we are actually about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Mm-hmm. And like, it makes me wonder now to think about it, which persona would you have played against me? Would you have played me when I was like loving prophecies, because I was big on prophecies? Or would you have played me when I was playing agents or fairies?
I probably would love to play you around.
Because you would have probably played me and had one of those two.
Yeah, possibly, because that's when you were a little bit more like into the game, at least in the competitive.
Before I started like judging more.
Yeah, judging, that was also a thing too for you. I don't know. I almost kind of want to play your Demise Magispector deck because that was the deck you topped with. Because I want to see you at full power.
My friend Pete, literally right after me, I forgot what event it was. I think it was Minnesota. I think it was that. I don't know, I don't remember. But he top 32 with my list, and he literally added one extra card and played like a 43 card deck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'm glad people actually want to try like my deck out and stuff. It's like what my friend Donnie says. I know he's going to watch this later. He said, all you do is just set 5 cards and summon a Magispector. Yeah. I said, yeah, that's literally what the deck was.
I find the deck actually is a really great teaching tool as well.
It was.
My girlfriend that I have now, she doesn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore, but we actually met at the card shop that I worked at, and she played she played then, and then I helped her develop her game more with Magispectors because it kind of did a little bit of everything in that sense, and it's such a hard deck to get around, at least when it was at full power at one point in time.
I really missed it at full power. Give me back Demise at 3.
Demise, and yeah, you need Kieran too, don't you?
No, I could have played 2 Karens back then. I only played 1.
Yeah, you did play 1.
Yeah, because I can always use Pendulum. No, what's it called? What was it called? Pendulum Rebirth to bring it back, that trap card.
Oh, yep. Oh, geez. I mean, that I'm just looking at your deck now. It's like a huge trap wave. And I know you mentioned earlier that you put in 3 Pod Duality and 1 Upstart Goblin, and you got 42 cards in there. Well, why the Upstart Goblin in a 42 card deck?
You know what? I didn't care. I know what people say that's bad, but it's like I was not thinking like how other people would think. And like in a sense, like I'm here to have fun. I like Upstart. I want to keep drawing cards as much as I can, even if I'm getting my opponent life points. Because now I'm thinking about it, I remember I had a lot of angry opponents that could not do anything because I played like a lot of Burning Abyss players, and they couldn't. Burning Abyss they can't target, so they can't.
Yeah. And you also played 2 Chaos Trapple as well, which was also like a good meta call at the time because that just screws over BA when they try to go into Dante.
And I remember I think I played Storming Mirror Force, Quaking Mirror Force, and I think I played the Drowning Mirror Force. So you didn't know what kind of Mirror Force that I was going to play, which was, I think it's really funny. I think I remember this right. My opponent was trying to attack me. I did a Magic Spectre Tornado. I got rid of my only monster, and then he attacked again. I flipped up a Drowning, and all his stuff went back to his deck. He was very, very angry. And then I played Pendulum Rebirth to bring back the raccoon and stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, that was fun.
Oh, it looks like a fun deck, just because it's the Magic Spectres are completely built on just gathering resources and controlling the board, and their immunity to not being targeted or destroyed by card effects just makes them all that much more annoying.
Right.
Yeah. So I can only imagine that you had a blast playing that deck.
Mm-hmm.
I did like playing with it because I felt it was just like a fun little annoying deck to play against everyone else because you had like so many resources and so much control. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you were feeling when you were playing this deck throughout that YCS.
Oh, I love that deck. I'll bring back memory. I wish I would have kept that deck, but I think I sold it. Yeah. I don't have my mat anymore. I think I sold that too, but the memory's still there.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh that much anymore, but the memory's still there, and I still got a lot of friends that I kind of talk to, but yet it's still good.
Are you considering possibly making a comeback to the game if it kind of settles down a little bit more, at least in terms of the money and, as you said it, boring?
Maybe. Now, I'm not kidding you not. I actually bought my first piece of Yu-Gi-Oh cards I think like 2 weeks ago, only because I love the Sacred Beast.
Yep.
And they finally came out in a structure deck, and I had to pick it up, even though I only opened one. I got the other two literally sitting on my desk right now, and the one I opened up just to look at it. And it's like, I don't know if I come back competitively, but playing for fun with this would be really, really fun. Sacred Beast was like one of my favorites, and then they made it competitive. I'm like, yes. But I'm also waiting for the Merrick cards to come out in that legendary duelist. I'm like, I got to collect the Merrick cards to finish my Merrick deck for like a fun like collector's thing. Merrick was my favorite character.
Oh, why was Merrick your favorite character?
He's crazy.
Yes, he is. Absolutely is.
He's like me.
And I was thinking he's probably got a little bit of a kink as well, considering in the Yu-Gi-Oh show he had the Millennium items kind of lock up Mai against the wall. I'm like, oh my god, that's
some kinky stuff. If you watch,
I was gonna say that's pretty kinky for Yu-Gi-Oh if you want to take it that far. Like,
right? Even though I don't care for Mai because I'm gay and all that stuff, but it's like that's some kinky stuff right there. Oh, and he's my favorite character. That's his crazy personality and stuff. Fits me in right perfect.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if you ever watched the Yu-Gi-Oh Bridge series, but I loved him even more in that.
I did too. I think his name was Melvin or something.
Yeah, he would call himself Melvin. Oh god, that again, the Bridge series classic for anyone who really hasn't watched, because it's died down a lot in like the past like 5-6 years, but in its heyday, it was absolutely fantastic, and Merrick was so hilarious in that series.
He really was.
Man, but like, holy crap! He was crazy. He was insane, and the kinkiness just I couldn't get it past him. Like, geez, I'm like, this has to be like the biggest fan service that you would see from the North American version of Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm like, are they sure they're gonna let him get away with this?
Right.
Considering how much we know 4Kids likes to censor and restrict a whole lot of
even though I hate to admit it, Joey should have lost, but I don't care he didn't lose because Merrick still beat him.
Technically, he did, yes. And Winged Dragon Raw was apparently OP in the show, but I honestly think it's the weakest set of all three God cards.
I hate to admit it. If you play animate effects, it's the strongest thing, but if you play it like competitively, obviously it's not. And Obelisk is the best in Slifer and Raw, but I know that whole chant that's how bad it is.
And how did you memorize that?
I don't remember. I think because I watched it like a million times, and back then when we had VCRs, I used to record the episode, and I used to just for playing it back. It's like before like cable was like really like a thing, or DVRs. It's like, oh yeah, but now it's on Netflix, so I can watch it anytime I want to, or I can just watch the DVD because I have it.
Oh god, like thank God for that nowadays. I used to VCR a whole bunch of like Pokemon episodes back when I was a kid. Yeah, I did that all the time, just so I could, on a weekend, if I felt like it, just watch them all again. Man, Pokemon was so fun to watch back in the day. I don't watch it now, but by God, back in the day, it was a big part of my childhood.
I really don't watch too much of it because I didn't watch Sun and Moon that much. I only watched like certain clips, and then I watched certain clips of the new one, Journeys. It's not bad.
But we don't really watch. But you watched a whole lot of it like back in the day, yeah?
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. Now, moving to your YouTube a little bit more. Now we talked about how you've kind of transitioned a little bit more into Pokemon now, but you still have a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh on there still.
I was actually looking at my old videos. I was thinking, like, should I delete some of these videos? Because you know how many videos I have to go through try to get back to the beginning just to look at my old stuff.
That's what I was trying to do.
And I was still trying to. I don't have a lot. Don't forget, like all the deck profiles and stuff I did. It's kind of hard. But I think I still have the page open. I'm still trying to go to the beginning. I'm only in 2014. I'm still right now. I'm clicking and trying to go back to the beginning because I remember my first video. If you're trying to go trying to figure it out.
That's what I was trying to do, and I think
my first video was a binder opening. Back then, back in like 2009 and stuff, you could just trade, and you post your like trade binder stuff on like YouTube, and then you had to hire trade refs or stuff, and you use Pojo, and all that stuff. It's like I remember those days, and that's what you had to do back then.
It was. Hey, I remember I was a mod on that site for several years.
I was a mod for Pokemon.
Oh, were you? Okay. I actually did not know that. Oddly enough.
Yeah, for Pokemon, I was a mod.
I don't know if you and I were mods at the same time, though.
I don't know. We could have been.
I honestly cannot remember when I was a mod at the time, but I don't feel like I've ever had.
I know for a fact I don't have my mod powers anymore because I don't even know if it's even a thing anymore. Pojo.
Yeah, I feel like Facebook's kind of killed Pojo because it's more of a social media that everybody uses and not everybody uses Pojo kind of thing. So I think that's why everyone kind of moved over to Facebook now and took it away. It took away the anonymity of it too. Now you also know like who you're talking to now,
right? Because like everything changed nowadays. YouTube, I don't like the analytics for that stuff
because they made it harder now to partner.
If you ain't partnered now, or like you're like grandfathered in like I am, it's very hard to do it now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I think you need like 10,000 hours now of streaming, and then
right now I'm trying to get partnered with Twitch. I should have did that a long time ago, but like I said, I never thought about it for the money, so I just did it for fun. And plus I just like to get on the camera and just yell and be sassy and stuff. So I never thought about it.
Are you on Twitch?
I'm on Twitch.
What do you do on Twitch then?
Pokemon,
just like what kind of Pokemon? Like you actually just stream?
Like literally just me. You see me playing VGCs, or once in a while you might see me pop in a random video game. So I got my new Elgato capture card.
Yep,
you might see that.
But you're not just playing Pokemon, just going around catching and training Pokemon. You're actually just out there just battling.
Oh, no. I have everything. I don't need to truly trade for anything.
Yeah, I have to thank you again for giving me that Hatterene with the magic bounce.
Hatterene. That's my favorite Pokemon now. Hatterene.
I take that took away a lot of unnecessary work, and right now I'm trying to get myself a Magic Card Alakazam. So that's going to be a fun experience.
You know, I can just give you that.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to bug you for that later on because I haven't played in about a couple of weeks now, just because I've been playing more of Paper Mario, Origami King, and I got back into Monster Hunter World, so I've been playing those games.
My friend got that game, Paper Mario. I was really never into Paper Mario. I'm just waiting to get Fairy Tail tomorrow.
What else are you doing for gaming anyway?
Like for just playing video games besides Pokemon, really?
Yeah, just in general.
To be honest with you, I really only play Pokemon. I literally have 900 hours on my Pokemon game.
Why am I not surprised?
And that's the highest I've ever had for any Pokemon game. I think Platinum or Diamond, I had 600.
Oh,
okay. We need to go over 900, and then they're still giving us new stuff and more Pokemon. I can't wait. Like other games and stuff, like I'm randomly like, I don't know if you remember, like back when they had like the anime sales and stuff for PlayStation, Xbox, where you can buy all these games and Nintendo.
Yep.
I literally bought like a whole bunch of games digitally that I sold. So like I'm like trying to beat these old games again that I sold, like Batman. I'm playing like that, or look at like Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, games like that.
Yeah, because every time you log on to Switch, I don't think I've seen you play any other game. I think it's just Pokemon all the way. At least every time I see you on Switch.
You literally see me play Pokemon. You might see me turn on Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
Or if you see me rarely, I might turn on Super Smash Brothers and play Donnie. But then I get my butt kicked because he's like the best Samus player. Or Dark Samus, because he plays the Dark Samus.
Yep.
I hate that. I love Smash Brothers, but anybody can kick my butt.
You just play really casually?
I play casually. Like my best character is Zero Suit Samus, or like Zero Suit Samus is my main, Cloud, and then Bayonetta. Oh, and Robin.
Robin? I play casually as well, but I don't know like the competitive scene very well. But
I don't know nothing competitive.
Yeah,
I know my friend Donnie just destroys me.
Yeah,
so
I don't
play him no more.
But I don't ever play any of my mains or even any of my side characters. I don't have anybody that yields a sword. Oddly enough, I think my if you want to call them main, I'd say maybe Game & Watch and Mario, I guess, would be my mains. But I use those terms very loosely because I treat it more as a party game than an actual competitive fighter. I'm more of a Street Fighter guy myself.
Oh, I love Street Fighter. Now, if you want to play me in that, we can play because I love Chun-Li and Cammy.
Do you have Street Fighter 5?
I don't, but I could get it tomorrow. But I do have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinity if you have that.
I don't. See, I'm not. Damn it. See, after number 2, I got to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And then when 3 came out, I wasn't like the biggest fan. And then I found out that I've been playing MVC like the wrong way, the entire way. And then I'm just getting pummeled and creamed all over the place. I just refused to kind of learn it because I was more into playing Street Fighter 4 and then eventually Street Fighter 5 instead because it's not quite as chaotic and not like quite as like a 50-50 shot after a KO. That's just me. So, and like, I just kind of lost it. I'm like, man, because my whole world kind of blew up. I'm like, man, I've been playing Marvel vs. Capcom wrong the whole way through. I'm like, no. So, but if we play like any like pure Street Fighter game, doesn't matter what Street Fighter game it is. Like, if it's just a pure one, I could definitely play you in that for fun.
Yeah, I might have to look into getting Street Fighter 5 because that'd be fun because I can play with Chun-Li and I think Cammy's in that game too.
Which game?
In a Street Fighter game, you know, Chun-Li and Cammy.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think which Street Fighter game because
it shouldn't matter which one.
Yeah, because like all the recent ones are gonna have Cammy. I'm just trying to think if you're going like the very first, the original Street Fighter or like Turbo.
Original, yeah.
I mean, we are that old that we can remember playing those.
I'm forever young. I still look like I'm 21. I do not age. I have eternal youth.
I have that, but to a lesser extent than you for now, I would say. I think I still look fairly young. I look like I'm in
look young, but not longer than me.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Like I look like I'm in my low and mid 20s.
I say about you look like 24, 25.
And that's funny because that's what my girlfriend thought too when we first met. She thought I was around that age, but she was shocked to find out that I was 29 at the time when we met, and I'm 32 now. So she was shocked to find out that I was like in my late 20s when we first met, and she was in her early 20s. She was like 22. We're 7 years apart.
I tell you this. I think I did all the scrolling. I found my first video and the second and the third. Like I found my first deck profile. I found it all.
I kind of gave up in my prep trying to do that because like, oh my God, this is taking so long. I don't know if I want to scroll all the way down to find out. But yeah, go right ahead. What was that first video?
I can literally link it to you since I know you're online still. Like literally, it's just funny that I just found this. Like the first one was literally a trade binder. And the first one was a trade binder.
Yep.
And the second one was a trade binder. And then the third one, let me go back one. The third one was my first deck profile.
Oh, what then?
Okay, I started July. Okay, the first video is July 10th, 2009. So that was actually, wow, my anniversary came up too, and I forgot about that stuff. Woo. Wow. I've been on here for a long time. Normally I mention it, but I didn't mention it this time on social media like I normally do.
Yeah, you did.
I've been on here for 11 years. Wow.
How time flies.
Yeah. Oh wow. I remember I used to do so much stuff. I used to do like deck. Remember back then before the whole game changed, you do deck profile of the month, card of the day, update deck profile this, and then I made my little segments because my friends like, you started Market Watch with Overexposed, and then you had your rants and stuff. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I really did do a lot and influence a lot of people. What my friend was telling me.
I know one of your segments. I don't know if it was inspired by me or not when I used to do Yuki tubing back then, because I used to do like a segment called "Bet You Didn't Know That," which was like a bunch of rulings the little niche rulings that people may have not known that could have been useful.
I don't think I knew about that with you though.
Yeah, and then I know you did a segment later on. You said "Know Your Rulings, bitch."
Bitch, know your rulings.
Bitch, know your rulings. I know you did something like that afterwards, and then, and that kind of took off a little bit as well.
It did. I like the thing. A lot of people still miss that, and they just miss the energy and stuff. They miss me like having my fan and doing it, even though my fan's been in my hand the whole time. You hear that noise?
Yeah, I can hear that. Oof. Hit my ears a little bit with the headphones in. Speaking. I'll be all right. Speaking of early videos, you had a couple early videos that really went viral. First, one of them was.
I know the one you're about to say.
Well, one of them was the WCQ where two guys were playing each other with dual discs.
Yes, that was funny.
Yeah. So
I literally had to get my camera. I'm like, I don't know what I'm watching, but this looks funny and have their energy. I'm like, I got to record this.
And then the other one, of course, I'm pretty sure you know what we're going to say here. It was when Kevin Silva.
Yes, that is my number one video.
Yeah. So explain that whole entire sequence of how it came to that.
Now, I don't talk to Kevin anymore.
Yeah.
We had like a little falling out, but Jeff is still, even though I don't talk to Jeff really either anymore, but Jeff is still my friend, and I have his number. If I want to talk to him, I'll just call him or whatever. But this happened like after Kevin won that ARG event, and I was working the ARG event. I was part of ARG. I was part of a lot of stuff I remember now. But anyway, I was part of ARG, and I was with Kevin. I was watching him play. My one friend, Michael, and my friend Patrick was there, and some other people was there. And then he just started, I don't know what made him start talking about Jeff. Because I remember Jeff, before he got to the event, he got into a car accident. And then Kevin was talking about that. And I'm like, and I was recording. I was recording Kevin play. I'm like, I see where this is going. I see how I can flip the script. If people call me an instigator.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you're going to talk about Jeff, and he like Jeff back then, he's still close to me, I think, in a way. Even though I don't really talk to him now. Yeah. He's still close to me. I'm going to tell him what you said. And like, you see me in the video. I don't know if you want to play that clip or whatever. I'm talking to Jeff. I'm texting him because he's on the other side of the room. I wasn't going to scream his name out. And then it's when Kevin's like, I'm playing for any amount of money. And that's what you hear me say. That's when you hear me start doing my crazy cackling laugh. Yeah. And Jeff's like, challenge accepted. I'm like, and then Jeff came over, and then Jeff told me I can upload it if I wanted to on YouTube, and I was going to do it anyway. But it's like, yeah, I didn't think that video would go that viral. And then Jim from ARG changed that because they were going to play for $500 to $500 in charity. Yeah. Which is respectful, but I wanted to see them play $500.
Yeah, because that's what I thought it was originally. And I didn't realize that it changed to charity. I thought legitimately it was still going to be for $500.
Yeah, it was supposed to be for them play $500, but since Jim was still part of Konami, I think he was still part of Konami at the time, or whatever. Before they had it fallen out, that they had to do it that way, so the players wouldn't get banned and all that stuff. And plus, it was for a good cause anyway, even though they got their drama and stuff taken care of. Even though I know Jeff, if I remember, I couldn't make that event. If I recall, Jeff lost the first one and then he smacked Kevin 3-0. Oh, with Harpy Ladies.
Oh, 3-0. Yeah, I remember the deck. It was Harpies, and I know Jeff was the one that came out on top, and maybe it was a good thing for Kevin that it wasn't actually for $500 actual money. But yeah, do you know if they ever actually played again? And actually,
they didn't. From my knowledge, they never did.
Yeah.
Hell, I don't even know what's going on with Kevin Silva. I think he dropped off the face of the earth.
Oh, is that? I don't know if that duel is actually available online somewhere. I never actually tried to look.
Oh, it's on mine. Oh, it's literally one of my top 10 videos.
Oh, the actual duel itself?
The duel is I have two versions of it. I have it where you can hear, I think Desmond was commentating, or you can hear me speed up the video and you hear this Japanese animation music.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, got it. Yeah, the little mods just to get through. And I know you've had your hand in ARG a whole lot. Like I think I can't remember if you've written for them or not, but I know I know you've done streams for them before. How did you get into ARG, also reality games? For those who don't know,
if everybody remembers back when I used to do deck, because back then, I'm not saying now because I don't do it now. Yeah. Back in the past, I was the person that had all the deck profiles up first and all the news first. Mm-hmm. Like literally, I could be at work and I would stop what I'm doing. I would sneak around and go record something. Or when I got home, I posted videos and stuff up. And then, if I remember correctly, because Jeff and them were on ARG, I think it was Jeff and Alex Vincent, on top of my head, and Billy Brake were the ones that went to Jim and said, "Hey, you should add Cordero because he needed a social media person." Yep. And everybody know back then I was like the social media butterfly guru or whatever. So he messaged me, hit me up and said, "Oh, do you want to work for ARG?" I'm like, "Sure." And I did that for a while. And then I went to other people, Voltage Games, when Alex and Jeff broke up. Then I went to Super Special Awesome Cards with Alexander Reynolds. Then I went back to Voltage. And then I went to join Team Jobber. And then it's like, then I quit Yu-Gi-Oh! So like I've been a lot of the places, and it's helped a lot of people's social medias, Facebook fan pages and stuff grow hella large.
Yeah, I can attest to that because I definitely sent you a deck list every time that I would top an event, just to give yourself some more content.
Yeah, and I have helped other people out. Like I helped Jonathan Moore. He's hired me. Like I'm very happy for him. Like I helped out like Simo at a time when he wanted to start the Great Big Yugi Tuber, that contest, like when he needed to get Mega Capital G. I'm like, because I literally was reminiscing on old like Facebook status, Facebook memories. I'm like, oh yeah, I did help him with that. I helped Jonathan Moore out. I helped all these people. Yeah. Now they're so much higher. I'm happy for them because I don't like Yu-Gi-Oh no more. So all power to them.
Yeah, that's a great thing too. It's you almost say that you're a bit of a pioneer in that sense too. If you're kind of like making way for like the next wave of Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's honestly what my friend Pete was saying. He's like, I'm still gonna be a part of the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Like even like when I went to, I think it was YCS Chicago before the pandemic, I just went for a day. People still remembered me and stuff, and like I talked to a lot of people. I'm like, oh, that's real. I was like, oh, that's fun. People still remember me even though I don't play. That's nice.
Man, I hope I can at least get you back into Yu-Gi-Oh just a little bit, or at least have a game with you or something before you like retire for good.
I'll play a game with you. I'll use Sacred Bees.
Yeah, we have to do. Or I don't know if you play GOAT format or not, but
I play GOATs. I play GOATs with my friend. Like I keep mentioning the thing. I'm gonna keep a tally mark how many times I said his name.
I think that's what
GOATs.
we might have to do. We might have to play a GOAT format game just
because. I play you in GOATs.
All right, just because it'd be a lot easier. Yeah, man. Well, I don't know if you could stream that.
Yeah, I can stream that.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna have to do that sometime. So again,
with my new gaming PC, I can do that.
Oh man, so we have to do that. We got to stream. We got to stream a GOAT format, and then we got to stream ourselves playing VGC rules for Pokemon. So we've got things to do later on in the future. Now,
things to look forward to.
Yeah, you got to host me now.
Yeah, that can be arranged.
Yeah, definitely that. Like. I'm surprised like you don't have your own like little show or little segment or anything nowadays.
I really want to do that. It's like one of my little goals. But since I work nights, it was kind of hard. But I'm actually thinking about doing that. And like I said, I probably mentioned his name if someone's counting the tally marker. Donnie. That's like a project that we were going to be working on. On some other things because he and his friends I'm part of it too. I'm the social media person. They're working on a board game that's going to be coming out in the future. It's really, really fun.
How long has that been in like production for?
Now I have not been with them from the beginning. I want to say a year. Called Monster Capture Race or MCR, and the company's called Arla Games. I kind of promoted it before on my Facebook fan page and stuff. So you're gonna be seeing more of that soon. So it's like really, really fun. The game, like it's in a way to me how I can explain how the game is. It's kind of like it's like a board game. You're going around. You got like a village. You got like 3 points, like a triangle. You got like a village, a castle. I can't remember the other one on top of my head. I want to say a shrine, but I know it's not a shrine. Castle, village, and a cave or whatever. You pick your monsters or like pick your thing. Like you can be a vampire, you can be a witch, you can be all these type of things, and you're going around trying to capture other people's territory or awaken the dragon. So that's really, really fun.
It's not finished yet, though.
It's not finished, though. I think I helped them record a demo. It's like on the Arla's YouTube page. Y'all can check that out if you want.
Yep. Are there any other endeavors that you have been like pursuing as of late?
Like little projects? It's like I don't know if you noticed me saying this on Facebook, or you have me on my personal Facebook.
Yep.
Like I kind of want to do a podcast like what you do, because it's like really, really fun.
Yes, it is.
I really want to do that. And like I kind of want to do a talk show type of thing. But it's like I don't do Yu-Gi-Oh really anymore, so I don't know if Yu-Gi-Oh players would still. I think Yu-Gi-Oh players would still want to come on there and just be like on there and just like talk, or just do Pokemon stuff. I know a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players are like converting to Pokemon with the whole pandemic. So I gotta do something with talk show or like social media. I'm gonna do stuff with that.
I mean, I can see you have it. I mean, you've always had the personality, which was, I think, one of the reasons why you've had so much success on YouTube, for one thing. And I always get entertained by every time I see you talk, at least on camera or anything like that. And then again, I know you in person as well, and we always have fun together. We're always good with each other every time we're in person too. So it's not like you're this piece of crap person like that. No, you're like, to me, you're genuinely a great person to me, and I always enjoy being around you.
Quit it!
Oh God, I'm not trying to do that. But that's just my personal interpretation of you.
Yeah,
that's just what it is. And then we've become good friends since. And I always try to help you with your YouTube. I always try to help you with your YouTube channel. We'd talk Pokemon for a little bit. Like this is what we do, like off camera.
Yeah,
it's just what we do. That's what our friendship is kind of morphed into. But I mean, we always had fun, and I enjoyed it when we were doing YCS Philly. I think it was 2012.
I remember this event. I don't think I was judging this event. I think I played.
No, you were playing with me.
And because I stayed with my friend Michael Ward.
Yeah. And you were helping me out a bunch because at the time, my phone that I had with me, it was a crappy little flip phone. It wasn't it was like an iPhone.
I remember this.
So I couldn't text when I was in the States because I would get like killed with roaming charges. So I needed you instead to be able to post for me. So you would post like status updates for me on my Facebook. Yep. You took a picture of me I had a bounty lanyard, and that was one of my best YCSs that I've ever played in.
I love being bounty.
Yeah.
That was so fun.
Yeah, because I only had 2 losses in Swiss that whole weekend. So I made out with 22 packs of Photon Shockwave that
22. Yeah, I think I only got like 10 packs, and then I started strong, and then I did bad.
Oh, well, how many losses did you have that day?
Let's see. I think I started out. I forgot what event it was. I was playing Heroes. I started out like 4-5-0, and then it's like from there I went plummet.
Plummet. Did you make it to day 2?
No.
No. Okay. See, I made it to day 2, and the bounty still carried over.
It's like. It was so much fun. I just like being the bounty because you get when they call your name, you get to stand up and stuff, and you get to go up there and get your name plaque. It's like, yeah, try to beat me, blah 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 blah. If you want these packs.
Yeah, and it was so fun too, and there was a little bit more added pressure on too because you don't want to lose all those packs. I lost in round 3 to windups, and then I lost to Hanzo Laguro in round 9. And he got a whole bunch of packs off me, and he pulled a windup Zenmane, which was like pricey at the time.
I remember back in the day when I used to judge, I pulled so many tour guides. Oh, those were so good. And I pulled Pot of Dualities. I pulled so many of those when I used to judge because they wasn't like in sealed cases. They just had them random packs. So you could pull as many secrets and stuff or hollows and stuff as you wanted if you were lucky. I pulled so much back then. Oh my God.
Yeah, I definitely judged a lot myself, and I loved getting the packs because, you weren't guaranteed, like, secrets per se, but you could get more secrets than you could in a regular box.
And that's what I did. I got more secrets than other people. I was like, yes.
Yeah, because at the time, you'd average 2 secrets a box, but there are times where you get, like, 3-4 secrets, so it was fun just opening them up because you didn't know the ratios, and I would have rather that gamble.
Mm-hmm. I would have gambled. I know one person didn't pull no hollows. He pulled all rares.
Oh.
Ozuku.
Gotta wonder if those were scaled or not. But that's
I felt so bad for him. He pulled all rares. I'm like, wow.
That would be bad.
And I pulled I pulled by so many secrets. I'm like, oop. I know about that.
I mean, I've had an opportunity. Sorry, not an opportunity. I've had a time where I've opened one secret and that was it, and I was pretty bummed out. But there were times I pulled like 3 or 4 secrets, but I have averaged 2, so at least kind of made my quote unquote money back in a sense without the gamble.
Right.
But geez, like how many tour guides and dualities would you pull?
I remember like I pulled 2 in one event. This is a tour guide. I pulled 4 in one event. Mm-hmm. And then like me, like randomly, like for a travel assist, I got more packs, and then I like pulled another one. Like, wow.
What was the last time that you judged?
I got the last time I truly judge or like do like a demo. Last thing I remember doing was demos. Mall tour. I did mall tour last year.
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you tell me about both then? Well, let's start with the mall tour.
I've done a couple of mall tours. And like I have been the worlds and all that stuff, and judged that when I did video games. Mm-hmm. Even though people want to know how you judge video games, you have to literally watch your opponent, make sure they don't cheat and stuff like that, make sure they don't DC, and know how to operate a Nintendo 3DS. Mm-hmm. Apparently, a lot of people don't know how to do that. But anyway, like the last thing, like I done like mall tours, and that's really fun teaching people how to play the game. It's like I did it last year, even though I quit last year. But I'm still going to help out Konami and stuff and judge, especially when the mall tour was literally 5 minutes away from my house. Like I walked to it because I live like 5 minutes away from the mall. Mm-hmm. And it's like I did that. I think I taught about at least, I'm trying to top of my head, like 12 people that never played and stuff. Taught them how to play. It's like, even though I don't like Master Rule, at the time it was Master Rule 4, but I taught people how to play. It was nice.
How did you get into doing the mall tour for Konami?
I'm trying to remember. I think it was Julia that convinced me. Julia is the head judge person for Konami when it comes to judges. Mm-hmm. She messaged me and asked me did I want to do it. Like she had like a thing out saying anybody wants to judge, do mall tours in your area. I'm like, oh, I live close to this place. I'll do it. And I judge with other people at like C2E2 Comic Cons and not Comic Con in California, but the ones in like Chicago and stuff in Gen Con.
How was that experience for you?
It was really amazing. But like for me, I don't feel like I'm really a judge. Like I started to like slowly digress from being a judge. Yeah. And I liked it more of like working on the computers and typing and all that stuff. Because that's when I did the 100th YCS. I was not a judge at that event. I was like working scorekeeper and working like on the computer for registration and stuff. So that event was crazy. I don't know. Did you go to that event?
No, the 100th, I didn't go to it. I forget that was in Anaheim, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, Anaheim. Yep.
Yeah, I haven't. You know what? I've never actually traveled by plane for a YCS.
You always drove to them, if I remember right.
I always drove. If it was always 10 hours away from me, at the most, I would drive to it. So for me, Indianapolis and Chicago are 10 hours away from where I live. I'm not quite in Toronto. I just live 90 minutes northeast of Toronto. So,
okay.
Yeah, so I'm not quite in there. I live in a small town. But yeah, if it's 10 hours, I'll make the drive. So that means Philly, Columbus, Providence, although I've never been to Providence, unfortunately.
I've been to Providence.
Yeah. Columbus, and then again, Indianapolis and Chicago. Those are all like the major cities. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. Those are all the major cities that I can hit that are within the 10 hours. Anything more than 10 hours, I'm a little bit skeptical on, but only if I know people who are actually going, then I would be willing to like make the longer trip. It's all about knowing people that want to go as well, because I don't really want to go on my own.
Right.
Yeah, so that's me. But I've never flown on a plane before for a Yu-Gi-Oh event. So any WCQ that occurs that's not close to me, I usually have to rule myself out, like when it was in Fort Worth, Texas, and when it was in Nashville, for example. Yeah. And then this year was supposed to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was not going to go to that, but Epidemic decided to say otherwise. So I think I dodged that bullet, quote unquote. But
yeah, I feel your pain there. Because like I wanted to go, even though I was not going to play. I just wanted to go see people and have like a little vacation.
Yeah, well, I mean that's always one of the more fun things to do when you go travel for Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just treat it as a little mini vacation while you're there.
But to be honest, though, being a YouTuber, you really don't get vacation because you work. And I don't think people understand the frustration, maybe not, well, back then, I don't know how they do it really now.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot of frustration. You have to hurry up and you got to upload the stuff. You got to be there to know who's in top 32. You got to be faster than Konami when they upload it on their sites because they are slow. So if you're there, you got to be on your stuff. And I was always on my stuff on social media. You got to make sure that you had your laptop like I did. You have to make sure you had internet. Mm-hmm. And internet costs a lot of money at hotels. I mean, at the convention center.
Yep.
So you have to either you have to wait till you get back to your hotel and use the crappy little internet, or you have one of those the little internet little speed stick things that you plug into your thing or have a hotspot.
Yep. I know.
And do it like that. And you have to hurry up and upload. Or if you wasn't using your phone, using your camera, you had to use your phone, and then you have to make sure you got enough internet speed. Make sure you're in, I think it was 4G back then or 3G. Make sure that you had enough internet speed to upload it. And that is how I did everything. And then I had custom thumbnails already made prior up top. And then when I got home, I edited with the person's name on it.
I feel like when you're doing this kind of job, and this also applies to journalism as well, as I'm a journalist myself, I feel like you're always working even when you're not working. And what I mean by that is that when you're out and about and like an idea comes for you and there's an opportunity for you to film, like you get on it. You do it. And there's so much work. And like, as for myself as a journalist, I'm looking for stories to do for like the next paper. And even if I'm just scrolling through social media and if I just see something that I can make a story out of, that's it. I'm working again all of a sudden. I got to make a pitch to my editor and say, hey, can we do a story about this? Now, I'm sure it's the same way for yourself when it comes to doing Yu-Gi-Oh! Except you're your own boss instead of having to talk to a higher up. I'm pretty sure it's very similar in that sense.
Right.
Yeah. So I can understand, like, and I was YouTubing too. So like, I always found that, whenever there's an opportunity to film, like, do it. Take advantage of it because you might be the first one that's actually cracking whatever story or whatever news that pops up, and you kind of want to be first, and you want all those views and you want that recognition.
Right.
Yeah. So I feel like does it feel like a nonstop job for you?
It back then, yes.
Yeah.
It's like I said, I did it for fun. I never try to do it for clout or money. Mm-hmm. Or anything like that. I just did it to be entertaining. But when it felt like it was a job, that's when I started to get tired of it.
Yeah, understandably so.
Because new duelists be needy. When they want to see the list and stuff. Oh, why don't you got this? I'm like, because I don't have it. I have no control over it.
I mean, how many times have we seen a thread either on the forums or Facebook saying, is the ban list out yet? Is the ban list out yet? When's the ban list going to come? Like, I think,
know how many people that used to message me, and they're like personal players that I know, you can see pro players too, that had my number, and they would text me and ask me, did I have this and that? I'm like, are you kidding me?
I mean, even still to this day, I get people that just message me or even call me just to get a ruling. And that often happens.
I still get that sometimes. And it's like, I'm like, I don't play no more. I'm like, I have to go look up these new cards and stuff, and then figure. Even though I was right after I gave the rule, I'm like, I don't play no more. Why are you asking me all this stuff?
How often would you get that in your heyday?
So much back, especially when I was a admin on Dueling Network.
Yep.
Oh, my phone used to blow up so much.
Yeah, because how many times again would you see on Facebook where people would say, "Yeah, is there a mod on Dueling Network Online? Like, I need a mod."
Especially when I was on Zodiac, I was an admin on there for a while too. Yeah, like back in the day, I helped Robbie build Zodiac.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god, being a mod there, and then being an admin there, and then being a mod on Dueling Network was a nightmare. My phone would bing off all the time. Like, can you get on here? Like, people ask me, can you get on here, be a special judge and rule in my, even though they write, I'm like, I'm not about to get online and help you do this stuff. I'm asleep or I'm busy.
Yeah, you said you work the night shift as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're working like 12-hour days.
Where do you? I am, yeah. Right now, I work at a company called Graphic Packaging International. I'm an auditor there, so I audit things. I go in there, walk around and audit stuff all night, counting stuff, scanning stuff.
Is it fun or is it kind of boring or monotonous? Or how
it's easy. It's so easy.
Yeah,
I literally sometimes I'm just standing there and the stuff comes to me, or I just walk around and do it. But literally, I just stand there and do nothing. I'm usually on my phone. But when I this time we do stuff, I'm literally counting all night.
Yeah,
but it's also good too when you play Yu-Gi-Oh! If you know math, because you do know numbers and stuff. You got to add up a lot of stuff. So Yu-Gi-Oh! Does pay off.
It does, and I said this to my girlfriend. Like when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! For like the last 16, 17 years, because that's how long I've been playing this game. Like my mental math has always been sharp, but playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Has kept it sharp. So I can add like 2-digit numbers like just like that. And I'm pretty good at percentages as well. Like my mental math just keeps going. And Yu-Gi-Oh! I have to thank for that as well. I'm guessing I don't know if it's the same maybe to that extent, but at least mental math, like it's still kept sharp for you when you've been doing your job. And it's funny because even at my own locals, I even get people sometimes just ask me like quick little math questions to calculate life points because they're too lazy to figure out themselves.
Right. That's why I don't understand with Yu-Gi-Oh! Players when they do that.
I don't understand either, but some people are just lazy. And I know I've got a couple people who are incredibly lazy at my locals. I'm not going to out them, but I do have that. And it's kind of funny that you get those kind of questions. Is like you can take about 10 seconds yourself and figure it out. Like I don't mind answering questions at all, but there's just some that you can just kind of answer really easily on your own if you just put a tiny bit of effort.
Oh yeah, totally agree with you there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure you've had the same sentiments before when you have a lot of people messaging you or texting you with questions.
So many questions.
Like again, like I'm not gonna criticize people for like asking me questions. The only thing I just hate is when people ask me the same question repeatedly again and again and don't learn.
Right, really
that's just that's just my problem when people ask me questions. That's all. I'm not gonna crap on anybody if they ask a question, but if you ask again and again and again, then okay, now it's getting annoying. You're just being lazy and you're just refusing to learn at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm sure we both share that sentiment when we get swarms of calls or whatever.
Oh, we do.
But I'm pretty sure that you've had it more than I have, considering that I would say your online presence is a little bit more than mine.
Yeah, but it's like I was just like I'm gonna mention his name again because I know he's gonna watch this. So let me know when you get done with recording and upload this. Donnie, he literally go like, "Do you miss it at all?" I'm like, I only miss the traveling and the people. I want to go back to. I think I'm technically reverted back, but my friend Pete told me no, I'm not. I'm still popular. I want to go back to being nobody, being a nothing. But I'm not that. I'm still somebody in the game, even though I don't play.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about
that life?
It's like you're like pseudo celebrity status, and you just can't.
That's literally what I am. Even though my channel haven't progressed that much, but people still know me and stuff, and know that I'm like first generation. Like they respect that and stuff. Is like, I still get people messaging saying, "Oh, you should come back." I'm like, nope.
Are you going to put up more Yu-Gi-Oh videos on your channel in the future?
Honestly, I don't think so. If anything, I might put up some GOAT format. And that's probably it, because that's literally all I play. But like when I hang out with my group of friends, like literally we play GOATs. I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago we played GOATs.
Yep.
And that's all I literally pick up with Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays.
Yeah, and I kind of look forward to playing you now for this too. Whenever we give ourselves an opportunity to do so,
I'm probably gonna have to ask my friend to give me a GOAT deck because I don't remember like what was in my personal GOAT deck. I don't remember that unless you want to play like other formats. But yeah, I play GOATs because GOATs is easier.
Yeah, GOATs is easier. Although I had my GOAT deck stolen a couple weeks ago. Oh, sorry, not a couple weeks, couple months. Sorry, a couple years ago. So I have to like.
I bet you had a like sort of high rarity.
No, I'm not a high rarity guy at all.
I was only like that with prophecies.
Yeah, that's fair because that was one of your favorite decks, was it not? And I know you had a round one feature match with that, and you won with it. I think it was against Gear that you were playing against.
Yes, and then I had one with I do believe Amanda Lapalm. I believe it was that we had a mirror match. Even though I did a legal activation of like Spellbook of Life, I did not know it because the deck just came out, and people still bug me about that.
Yep.
But it didn't matter. I still won regardless. I was going to win. I think I had 4 feature matches, and I think my favorite feature match besides Prophecy is when I played Light Ray Sworns and how I beat the player.
Ooh.
I don't know if you looked into this, but I'll tell it. And like I was playing against, I think he was playing Chaos Dragons or whatever. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
I won. Like literally, like I think it was Jason that was doing the feature match, and he kept on saying, "Oh, Cordero drew another electric virus," and the side that Cordero drew another one.
Yep.
So on the next turn or whatever, I discarded both of them. I took his Light Pulsar Dragon, I took his Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, and hit him for exact game.
Oh yeah, I'm reading it right now.
Oh, that was so much fun. I'm surprised I still remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought Light Rays was really cool. I was like, ooh, because I like light decks, I like dark decks, and like this was like a weird little thing. And like, oh, you can mix this with Light Sworns and this mill, and then some of these big beaters and stuff. I'm like, ooh, especially everybody playing Chaos Dragon. I'm like, ooh, these electric virus are going to be good. And now look at electric virus. Over the years, it kind of grown in popularity, and now I think it died down because you don't need that no more.
Yeah, you don't. But they were, when Light Rays came out, they didn't get a lot of hype, but they were just incredibly hard hitting. It was rare to see people really play them because of their summoning requirements.
Summoning requirements are like
yeah, they're a little bit whacked out, and I didn't really lose to a whole lot of them. Like I had lost to Chaos Dragons before, but I didn't. But when people played the Light Rays, I didn't really lose a whole lot. But you seem to have destroyed your opponent when you played when you had your feature match.
That was fun. And then like that charity event, Yu-Gi-Oh, that was fun too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the charity, I think you remember that. That was in I think it was in Rhode Island. Charity event when the charity met. I won the 3rd side event for that.
Yeah, tell me more about
Time Lord deck. Yeah, I played Time Lord Lightsworn.
Oh, weird. How did that?
Oh, Monster Mash.
How did that operate?
I don't know how I won 3 matches, and then I got the mat. I think I have the mat. I don't know where it's at. I think it's in storage in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring back memories. Just bringing out big Time Lord monsters. I remember I brought out the only 2 Time Lords, the ultimate one, and then I would bring out the other one. I forgot his name, Metia. And then I would bring out Christia, and then before Christia, I would drop out a JD and then drop out Christia to bring out these big monster beats that I would be like using Gallus to Star Beast to mill this, Card Troopers this, Solar Recharges. Those are the type of old Yu-Gi-Oh days that I miss, or I miss like Blackwing format because Donnie liked the Blackwing because he's the Blackwing king. But I like playing plants because everybody knows I like Akiza. That's why one of my nicknames was Black Rose.
Yep.
And do you remember how they used to call plants debris Jaime?
No, I don't actually.
Oh, that was like my first deck profile.
Oof.
On there. Like I think it was like because you used to play like like you play like the Titanial Princess.
Yep.
And like I think Jaime means princess. I think in Japanese. Don't quote me on that. Or something that like you used to play like those plants, like you play like 3 debris, you play like debris Jaime, Lone Fire. Like I think you only played 1 dandelion back then. Those were the good old days. That's the type of Yu-Gi-Oh I miss.
Yeah, I did enjoy playing that format, at least the Plant Tengu format around that.
Yeah, I didn't like Tengu that much, but like after a while I started to like it.
Yeah.
And then Synchros was more of a thing.
And
then Exceeds.
I never minded when formats were like monotonous in terms of decks because I always felt that most of the time I ever played it was like whoever won was typically the better player, kind of like Teledad format. And like
I was going to ask you about that. Were you a Teledad player or were you a Lightsworn player?
100% a Teledad player.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, because
I was Lightsworn. I had that deck totally blinged out back then. I had Secret Ghost Honest. I had the JD Secret. Well, that's the only they came see. I had Ultimate Solar Recharges, Celestia, Secret Aaron.
Yep. I just found Teledad to be the better deck out of the 2, so I ran with it, and I had more Teledad cards than I did Lightsworn.
It was so much cheaper because I couldn't afford a Crush card, but it's like I could afford like all these Lightsworn. I'm like, yep, I'll play with this. Keep dropping JDs. Yeah, I can do this all day.
Yeah, my God, Teledad was so expensive, and thankfully I didn't have to buy all my Dark Arm Dragons, and I actually profited off my Crush card virus because I leased it. Like I bought it, and then when I resold it, I sold it for more than what I bought it for. So I just basically it was like putting down a deposit on the Crush card. So that's how I had my own. And holy heck,
I didn't get mine until it came out as a gold. What was it? Gold rare.
Yeah, Gold Rare was its second printing after its.
Yeah, I got that because I pulled it. Actually, I'm looking at it right now. My card of the day was a crush card of gold. I'm looking at it in my video. That was my 4th video. I'm like, wow, reminiscing like this. Oh my god, make me feel old.
Yeah, I never had a chance to buy any of the Gold Series because it was already like sold out, and I was in Vietnam, I believe, at the time for 6 weeks. By the time it came out, so when I got back, all of it was sold out. I'm like, well, great, I've got no chance, and now I have to go to a regionals the next week with no crush card virus, because I couldn't get my hands on one, and I actually lost on the bubble, surprisingly enough, with some little fun jank anti-meta deck that I just decided to throw out together with in collaboration with one other friend. I was close, but and I lost the lights once. Just for you, I lost the lights.
Yes.
Is that one of your favorite decks?
Back then, yes. Nowadays, no.
What's one of your favorite decks now? What's one of your favorite
like back in the day, or just in general?
Just in general.
Prophecies.
Do you
Pendulum Magicians? I miss those.
Do you still have the high rarity Prophecy deck on you?
No, I had that deck like 3 or 4 times already. I kind of want to get it back just to keep it as a collector's sake thing.
Yeah.
But the memory is always with me, so I don't really need to, because like some cards are like, I don't even know why cards are really high up in a pandemic.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either, because I don't think there's,
because you never know when you're going to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh. Even though some places are letting you play in there, even though you got to be 6 feet and COVID and mask and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I don't want to go into a local. I will support my Yu-Gi-Oh or local OTS store if I was playing.
Yep.
But like, I don't think I want to go actually play in there. I will try the remote duel, even though I still think people can cheat in remote duels. I don't care what you say. even if you have like apparently you have a judge watching and stuff, I'm like, you can cheat.
It's still suspect and tricky too. When I first saw those rules, I was a little bit puzzled.
And you know, from being a judge like me, you know how people can cheat and stuff, especially if they're not looking for a half a second. You could like cut the deck a certain way and put a card on top, or do this stuff. Or you got to make sure when your opponent cuts, you got to make sure I want to cut your deck again.
Yeah,
do this. You got to do all that type of stuff.
Yeah, when I'm judging, I have to watch the duels like very intently and like with like a huge eye on them. Like I have to zero in and just pay attention to every single little detail, at least when I'm judging. I don't know if every other judge does this, but this is just how I do it, because I don't want like any kind of cheating, because I don't know any cheating techniques really, except for maybe like the 5 and 8 pile shuffle. That's about it.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah, that's the only one I could really know. Or if I like half-heartedly shuffle and then not present my deck. Those probably
like I know like that one that you did, the 5 and 8. I know how to make a card go directly to the top of your deck. If you're looking for marked cards, it's not that hard to do that shuffle, but you can put them like right on top or anything like that.
Yeah, so I don't know a lot of those tricks, so I have to watch very intently and intensely to really like figure out like if people are cheating or not. I haven't actually
even though it's bad that people would want to do that, because I remember, I'll say the name, Adam Korn. I don't believe he cheated, but his like blasters his blaster the dragon, dragon ruler, was like marked, all 3 of them. And I remember that I wasn't judging that event, but I remember that the judges were saying that it's marked and you can literally cut it to the top, or you can manipulate where it would be at. It's like, why would you mark blaster out of all the stuff you could mark?
Oh, because
I didn't get that.
Bull Blaster was one of the bailout cards.
Blaster was it was the one that popped stuff, so I kind of understand.
Yeah, it was the card to take away any floodgate that would be out there, so I can understand why. I mean, we saw the World Championships for that format when it was Dragon Rulers. Like the Blaster was able to would be the out for like Jaugen, the Spiritualist.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a reason why you'd probably want to mark it. So I can understand why that card is marked, because it's a floodgate killer in that sense. But still though, it's like, I don't know. I don't know why people really have to like cheat so hard. I mean, I just can't do that. It's not me. But then again, I don't know the cheating techniques or anything like that. Again, I only know the 5 and 8 because I was taught that. But other than that, like I don't know. I really don't know anything else. But
I know some. I think I still remember how to check that stuff. But like, I don't play anymore, so I don't really have to worry about.
Yeah,
that.
You don't have to worry about it. I mean, it would be probably useful for me to learn this kind of thing, so that way I could like spot it. So like for informational purposes, it would be good. But no, I've never had to deal with that so much, and I don't have a lot of cheaters at my local either. We all play pretty honestly, which is nice. It's refreshing. But yeah, I don't know. Like, have you had any experiences with any cheaters or catching people cheating in any regard?
I would say yes, I have. I don't remember names, but I have caught people cheating and stuff.
What? Give me an example.
Like literally, like when your opponent's not looking, they would draw like extra cards.
Yep.
I've seen that, and even when I'm not judging, I've seen that, and I go tell the judge, I'm like, he's drawing cards, right?
Ooh.
Or people trying to stack their deck, and you like see them like literally trying to do that marking with the shuffling and the cutting.
Yep.
It's like, oh no, I don't want you to do a final cut. It's like, yeah, I'm doing a final cut. You
definitely
literally just mark.
Yeah, definitely doing that for sure. I also hate it when people look at the top card while you're in the middle of a combo and then decide to scoop.
That's not my nerve when people do that.
Yeah, I really hate it when people do that. A lot. It's like, please don't look at the card. Because like if people see it's a good card, it's like, oh well, then like then they'll stay in the game. But if they look at it and see it's a bad card, well then they'll just scoop. I'm like, I think that's a really unfair way of being able to scoop, because I think I would call that a form of cheating.
Oh yeah, it is.
I hate it when people do that. It annoys the ever-living hell out of me.
Same.
But what was? Oh yeah, so there was another question we wanted to like way into, like that we didn't address yet. But when was the last time that you judged?
Oh, I want to say, I don't know. I should really ask Julia because I don't remember. I want to say maybe it was a YCS Chicago or something out of state. No. Yeah, I think it was that. Because like the last thing I really remember doing was I was doing surveys for Konami, walking around asking people what they thought about, like Konami, Yu-Gi-Oh, how they did the band and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little ways back when you last judged then.
Yeah.
A little ways back. What can we see from you in the future when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, are you just gone completely, or can we still expect something?
I think I'm gone completely.
Yeah.
You might see me maybe, because I do play on, I don't know what this new Dub Pro, whatever the thing is called, whatever. I was like dabbing onto their project Ignis or whatever, Edo Pro. I was on that the other day, and like Donnie saw me on Discord. He's like, you're like, ew, you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh? I'm like, I'm only playing with the Sacred Beast.
Are you maybe going to get like a fun duel or two out of that with the Sacred Beasts?
Yeah, I've beaten people, even though I don't know what none of these new cards do. I'm like, literally, I don't even pay attention. I'm like, okay, that does that. Okay, my monsters randomly disappeared. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't miss this game that much, but it's just fun playing with them, because these Sacred Beast cards should have came out years ago.
Yeah, they've had next to no relevancy whatsoever. I know that Matt Peddle, like a really old.
I miss him. I remember that player.
A really old school Yu-Gi-Oh player. He went to one Toronto regional and he actually topped 8 with an Araya deck.
I remember that.
And this was when this was during the time when we were confused with the XYZ rulings that materials were still considered to be on the field at the time.
Right.
So It was that regional. I didn't go to that one. I forget why. I think I had to work, so I couldn't attend that one. But yeah, he topped a regional with Araya. I'm like, wow, how the heck did he do that? Mm-hmm. But other than that, you don't really you hear a lot of relevancy with the Sacred Beast cards whatsoever. Because not all I don't find any of their effects outside of Araya to be really that devastating.
Oh yeah,
but I love playing Araya though. I think that's my favorite Sacred Beast card.
Yours is I like it because red's my favorite color. Yeah. But my favorite would probably be Hamad.
Did you ever? Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
Because it looks like Winged Dragon Raw.
Did you ever play Hamad in Sacred Beast deck? Sorry, not Sacred Crystal Beast decks.
Yes, I did. I like Crystal Beast too. I wish they have a little more upgrade, but I want them to be more like the evil counterparts in the TV show Advanced Crystal Beast.
Yeah, I always found Crystal Beast to be a very fun deck to play. I always enjoyed playing with them.
I did. I liked them.
Oh, yeah. And I remember playing with them one tournament, one local, And I kept playing against these stall decks, but it was like, Gravity Bind, Level Limit Area B, like those kind of stall cards. But
Right.
and like you have like huge wall monsters, but thankfully Amethyst Cat would bypass every single floodgate, and you could just whittle them down and chip them away.
Which was a good thing.
Yeah, which was like, it's 600 a turn or whatever, but I'd had like several on the field, and I just keep chipping away at my opponents that like played those stall decks. I love Crystal Beasts. They're so fun, and especially when you get an abundance off.
Yes, like that was fun back then.
Definitely one of my more favorite decks to play in the GX era.
Sure. Oh yeah, I totally agree with you there.
Wouldn't call it competitive, but it was satisfying to win with. In my mind.
Oh yeah,
in my mind.
It really was.
Yeah. I mean, like what other decks did you really enjoy playing back in the day?
If I'm going down memory lane back in the past,
yeah,
I would say Debris Plants, Tech Genis, Agents, Chaos Agents, Prophecy, Magicians, Magic Specters, Buster Blader.
Oh, really?
Dark Magician for a minute. Even though those cards we got now for Dark Magician, like Magician Soul, should have been out years ago.
Yeah, because that completely, broke the game wide open. And it's I find it funny when it first came out, Magician Souls, like the best deck to use wasn't even Magicians, it was for Spiral.
Right.
Which is like wow. And like it's completely splashable in the most decks now. Which it really is. Which is hilarious. Just throw in an Apprentice Illusion Magician if you don't have the spellcaster, and away you go. And then it just made Spirals all that better because you chuck on a master plan, and then that's it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Magician Souls is so fun. I'm glad I have my playset. Oh god, it was a trip and a half. I had to go to Walmart a couple times because they would sell it so quickly in shops. So I actually had to buy some blisters, and I typically don't do that. Just for one card, go out and buy blisters. I don't know how it is for you.
But it's about the same.
But and then again, at the start of the podcast, you said you don't really want to invest in so many like expensive cards, especially with like 3 lightning.
No, but I tell you this though, I would love to randomly buy from the new Armageddon Battle of the Legend. I would love to buy like one pack and pull that $1,000 Thousand Dragon or whatever.
Yeah, the 10,000 Dragon. I believe it's worth $1,200 US right now.
Yeah, I know Jeff Jones and his group, they literally went to Myers or Walmart or something and bought 9 random packs and they pulled one. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Well, if I pull that thing, I'm selling that thing right away.
Yeah, I would definitely do that too.
That's paying like some bills or something. Or I would say they would take me out to a nice little vacation or something. But you can't really go nowhere.
Yeah, you can't. But yeah, that's like 2.5 months rent for me right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because that's like 1,500 Canadian. That's how much it is for me. So my rent's $600.
And that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. And I pay $1,200 with my girlfriend, so I only pay $600 a month for rent.
Not bad.
So it's not bad. But that's Canadian too. So $600 isn't as bad as it seems for our American viewers that are listening out there.
Right.
Yeah, it's just to put it out there because we spend a little bit more money. And I always found that every time I go to the States, I always am happy
with a lot more money.
Yeah, you do. But I'm also happy with how cheap fast food is there. So if I want like quick little food, I can just probably throw down about like $5 American. I can be fairly satisfied.
Right.
For the most part. Because the dollar menus down in the States I find are vastly superior to the ones in Canada. That was one little thing I always enjoyed when I go to the States. But of course I like to eat finer now that I'm a lot older.
Yeah.
I like to eat more like expensive things now. Like I don't eat off the value menu a whole lot now anymore.
I don't either. It's like I'm on a diet. I don't eat that much like I used to.
Yeah.
But it's like if I'm going out, well, before the pandemic, I would like to go out and eat fancy. You don't gotta be fancy anymore, but still, I like fancy stuff.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm at the age now where I'm willing to pay the extra dollar for a little bit like less quantity, but definitely more quality.
Yes.
At that point, especially with my alcohol.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got hella drunk last week. Yeah.
What were you doing last week?
I don't know. Besides like playing Ghost format and stuff with my friends, that was like really fun. Let me tell you, it's one drink I do not like. I do not like the Fireball.
Oh man, that stuff gives you horrible gut rot the next
Yeah,
day.
it's like I still remember, like, not saying last week or when I was drinking that, but like 2015 with my friend Lucas. I know we drank a whole bottle of that, and I have never drunk Fireball. It's like, okay, it tasted good going down, and then later on, my stomach was just not agreeing with that.
Yeah, the last time I drank, I think I drank about we had a 40-ounce bottle, and we drank all of it in one night, like between
And
myself
I
and
don't
some
even
friends.
drink like that, though. But I noticed, though, I can hold my liquor and stuff when I'm at the club and stuff. I can hold my liquor. I don't pass out. I don't puke. I recall everything that happens at the club. I'm like, wow, I did not know that I had this ability. I'm like, why was I not partying back in Yu-Gi-Oh days of YCS? And I'm like, I'm kicking myself in the head, like in the back. I'm like, man, I should have really partied more instead of trying to being a coverage person. But hey, you gotta be the reporter and stuff of Yu-Gi-Oh back then.
Yeah, it's true. You definitely do need that.
Although you did not have time to have fun. Really didn't.
Yeah, you had to focus a lot on Yu-Gi-Oh. It's I wouldn't get a lot of time to be able to explore a whole lot of the cities when I traveled.
Oh, I never did
Yu-Gi-Oh.
either, and I kind of regret it now.
Yeah, but I mean, you could fit in some small points of time. And honestly enough, when I went to Chicago, so your town, for the WCQ, I think it was Dragon Rulers and Prophecies and Evil Swarm that ruled the format.
Yep.
I was in this like wonderful hotel. I had no idea. I didn't book the hotel, but they had the manager's hour, which was for 2 hours. You would get free cocktails. Just go down to the lobby, and you can just get whatever cocktail you want for free for the 2 hours. So I on the Sunday after day two, I played all my matches in day two. I didn't make top 32. Went back to my hotel, and I just drank and hung out, and I did enjoyed being at the Navy Pier. I mean, that was one of my favorite venues in all of.
That was nice.
Yeah, and they don't do their events anymore near the Navy Pier in Chicago now. Which was
no, they really don't. No, they do it at the Donald
Stevenson, yeah. I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. Yes.
I'm literally 25 minutes from there.
Okay, yeah, so you're not too far. But you don't live directly in Chicago, though. Are you just
no? A lot of people, I'm in a suburb. A lot of people think I live in Chicago in the city. I don't live in the city. Literally, I live like an hour away from the city. Even though I was just in the city for 4th of July because me and my friends went to the beach.
Yeah.
Even though with the pandemic and all this stuff was okay, a lot of people wasn't even there. And like, yeah, that's like the last time I was at the beach.
Yeah, because I know that you, like, every time I saw your Facebook and when I would look at your profile, I knew that you didn't live exactly in Chicago. You just lived like outside of it. And I think that was like a misconception that people had when they associated you with Chicago. It's kind of like when people associate me with Toronto. I actually don't live in Toronto. I live like in a small town like 90 minutes northeast of Toronto. So like it's an easy drive there, but I'm not considered part of that area.
Right.
So I think it's kind of the same with you, but maybe to a lesser extent on that regard, because you're a little bit closer, I would say. But I don't know where you live is considered to be part of Chicago or not.
No, it's not Chicago.
Okay. But it's a stone throw away, though, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's like the suburb I live in. I don't care. I'll say it. Bloomingdale.
Yeah.
Nobody probably knows where the heck that is. It's just like just a small little suburb.
Mm-hmm.
But like I got like everything. Like I don't need to go to Chicago. I literally got the mall 5 minutes away. I got like Best Buy, got Target, got Walmart, all the circle distance, and all these food restaurants, literally all in a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like need to go to the city.
And you were at the YCS where it was held in Chicago, where it was like Zodiac format, right?
Yeah. I don't think I played in that. I think I just went up there. I think that's the one I just went up there like day 2 or like day 1. I came up there. I said hi to Julia and some judges, and then say hi to players because I wasn't playing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So I remember there was an anime convention happening on the same day in the same building.
I love when YCSs have that.
And I find that every time I go to Columbus, there's always a cheerleader competition that always happens.
Yeah, I remember that too. Even though I really don't care for cheerleaders being gay, but that was also fun just to see that type of stuff there. Because all the Yu-Gi-Oh guys were like, "I'm gonna get me this cheerleader." I'm like, "You ain't gonna get nothing. They underage."
I was gonna say the majority of them are underage, and I think there were some college.
I think there was one in Gen Con, and I think there was like college ones, and everybody like, "Oh, I'm gonna try that." I'm like, "Yeah, this ought to be funny."
Yeah, so like when I saw these shooters, I'm like, these are all like underage little girls. I'm like, no, I'm like, this would be cool if this was all like college girls, but this is not.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just keep walking here and not, have them as my eye candy kind of thing.
Exactly.
But when the WCQ was in Chicago, I was looking up the venue, and I actually found out on their events page that I think it was the week after that they were having a sex or like a porn convention. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, I remember that.
They booked that up. I'm like, man, I wonder if this was intentional or not. They booked it on the wrong weekend.
I honestly think they did that on purpose.
Could you imagine if you went to that sex convention and then just see how many Yu-Gi-Oh players were actually there participating afterwards? I think that would be pretty funny.
I would think so. 100%.
Yeah, because I'm sure there were a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh players that also like took part in the anime convention that was there in Chicago as well when we had the WCQ there.
Right.
Yeah, because I think we all had to walk down like the same halls and everything before we had to split apart. So I would see like numerous amounts of cosplayers going through, and I'm like, okay, don't follow the cosplayers. They're not going the same direction that I'm going in. At least when I was going like the first time to the venue anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Did you go to that convention at all?
I don't think I did. I don't think I went to that convention.
No? Oh, okay. Because I feel like that would be like way up your alley. Because I know you're a big anime fan too.
Yeah, it's like I've been to a couple of anime conventions, but I haven't been to too many because I was always judging or doing deck profiles, so that like killed my time for doing that.
Yeah,
but not anymore.
Now you're a little bit more free.
I think we all are.
And speaking of which, I know we mentioned her name a couple times, Julia. I'm actually trying to get her on the podcast in a couple weeks.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, the big obstacle is that we have to be careful of what she's got to say. Yeah, because then she's higher up on Konami, so she's got to watch out what she's got to say. So, but but if I can get her on, like more power to her. She seemed receptive to the idea, so hopefully we can get her in a couple weeks' time. That's the plan.
Maybe that's good if you can.
Yeah, definitely that, and I hope our viewership would really enjoy that.
Oh, yeah, I think so for sure.
Now, if you want to talk about somebody that always gets like private message or anything about Yu-Gi-Oh questions,
that's her, no doubt.
She would blow us out of the water. Like, hands down.
People want to know like Konami's secrets and stuff like that, and it's like she don't know. She is the judge part of it.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like you're going to an accountant for like legal advice. But because like she's part of the company, like people just want to jump to her and just ask her all these questions, and sometimes she does. Like she's pretty transparent about it. She will answer like a lot of like questions that are asked, even though they're out of her like not
jurisdiction.
Yeah, jurisdiction. But she's good with it. But sometimes she has to delegate. But again, she's been a great like hard worker, and I don't know if like the newer gen knows about her or not. But
I don't think they really do.
Yeah, but God, that woman has done a crap ton for this game, and they don't realize like how hard she works for it.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we'll see. Well, I'm hoping to get a response from her sometime next week, and hopefully get her on the show. That would be fantastic.
Good luck.
Good luck indeed. Big score. But I'm glad to have you on this week.
Well, thanks for having me.
I had a fantastic time talking to you, and it was great that we could reminisce. And now we have two things that we have to do. We have to have a good format, and then we have to play each other in VGC for a Pokemon video game competition for people who don't know. So we got to get those going on. So we'll have to set dates for that, and we'll probably have to come back. We'll come back with that eventually. We'll put it up. We'll stream it. We'll get it up online. Because I've never played you before, so we gotta put it into that. We played Pokemon before we played Yu-Gi-Oh together, which I found was really funny.
It is.
So we'll get that going. And again, thank you for coming on to the podcast, Cordero. I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Anything else you want to say before we part ways, good sir?
Nothing really. Like, everybody stay safe, enjoy life, and just have fun. But be safe.
Absolutely, be safe. That's the biggest thing right now. And my card shop that I also work for as well. I work at a card shop as well as my journalism. Opens up next week Saturday. I don't know if we're doing tournaments yet, so I got to be really careful about that.
Congrats.
Yeah. So, got to be careful about that. We'll see. But if you want to know more about our good friend Cordero, you can check out his YouTube channel, is known as Vexacus on YouTube. Over 23,000 subscribers, over 10 million, 11 million views. My good friend Cordero, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Have yourself a wonderful day, my friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe. For more information, check out the Gate Expectations podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Patreon, Twitter, and Spotify.